Hello and welcome everybody. This is Susie Beiler, and in this video I will be bringing forth more information from Prime Creator about the events and concepts surrounding September 2015.
In physical linear experience, there is the theory of the Big Bang Theory. Did this event occur, and is there clarity to this theory?
What occurs, dear ones, throughout creation are sparks of creation. And so as cycles come and go, there are moments in time where the sparks come together and ignite as a unified force. And so as scientists have analyzed what has occurred, they pick up on this notion and call it a Big Bang. For many sparks ignite at once in a unified manner to create a propulsion or an impulse of great magnitude with the sparks of creation.
How many times has this occurred in linear time?
Many, many times, dear one. And each time it occurs, there is greater and greater magnitude, as evolution is continually expansive.
How long ago was the event of the Big Bang in linear time?
It is what you have termed eons of time, millions and billions of years ago, dear one.
What is the truth or clarity about the story of the 7 days of creation?
The truth is, dear one, that the 7 days were created in your linear timeline to provide a breakdown, if you will, of the various aspects of creation. It did not occur in 7 days. It occurred in an instant, and it occurred over many years as life continues to expand and evolve. The number 7 was simply used to provide an understanding of the various aspects of creation and the various beings that were created. All of creation as you experience it now, and all of creation that is beyond your experience. So what you experience on Earth in terms of life forms and various being, plant forms, animals, etc., and what you have not yet experienced in your mental consciousness through galactic understanding and universal experiences, dear one.
Periodically, there is the notion that there are floods that wipe out life on Earth, or global events such as this. And one of these stories is referring to Noah's Ark. Is there truth or clarity about this story?
Yes, dear one. As these stories are not always reflective entirely of the truth, however, they do illustrate events that occurred in the past, as you refer to linear timelines. There have been many times in the past where various life forms were saved, if you will. Various species were kept alive through figures such as Noah and other leaders that played those roles.
What was the cause of the most recent large flood that wiped out life?
The cause was simply an earth process, dear one. A self-cleansing, if you will.
Are there laws of God?
There are laws of life, dear one. This is a very vast subject, as some beings must follow these laws in order to survive, and other beings of higher frequency do not need to navigate with these laws in the same way. And so, depending upon the life form a being might be in, or the frequency of the form in which the soul takes. These laws are used differently.
It was said that the certain Annunaki were written out of the Book of Life. Is there truth or clarity to this story?
None are ever written out of the Book of Life, dear one. However, I will use the word karma because this is what might be most easily understood. Certain beings are placed in a karmic hold or given karma so that they might experience the consequences of their actions. And this is what has occurred with the Annunaki. I must emphasize, dear one, that life is always available to all. Life is never taken away from any. This is one of the laws of life that I referred to.
Is there truth or clarity about the story of the 10 Commandments?
Yes, dear one. As a being in human form interpreted the laws of life, they were written down and passed along to his people.
Is there more specific information you can give about these laws of life?
What you sow, you shall reap. You experience certain laws on your planet, such as gravity. The essence of all of this, dear one, is that whatever action or thought form or energy that you put forth, it does have an effect. It affects all life everywhere. And this is why, dear ones, I continue to invite you to tune into the desires of your hearts and the wisdom of your souls, because in this way you shall put forth the energy that you truly desire to put forth, that will affect all life in a positive way. And the free will experiment that occurred on your planet, dear ones, gave you the opportunity to experiment with these laws of life. And as you can see, what is occurring now is the result of the energies and actions put forth by the humans.
Do certain planets not have the same laws that are here on Earth?
All function under the same law, but as I mentioned before, because of the frequency of some, they are able to navigate the laws differently. For example, the law of gravity that you experience in human form. In human form, most are not able to transcend this law. But as your frequencies are raised, and as you transition onto the new DNA Earth and your respective dimensions, you will be able to navigate the law of gravity in a different way, dear ones, not being restricted to staying in material form in a human body. You will be able to transcend this law. I use the word transcend because this is the best way to describe in human language what will occur.
What is the highest type of being in form?
The highest type of vibrational being in form are humans, dear one. And then you can consider other forms. Forms that are of less density, such as angels and archangels. And these tend to have a much higher vibration than the human form. They do have a form. It is much different than humans, however. And using English language, it is difficult to explain. Their form is sometimes more human-like and sometimes more like a ball of light. And yet there is some type of form to these beings that you call angels.
There's the idea that angels have different types within a hierarchy, and that there are 9 different types. Is there truth or clarity to this idea?
There are many different levels in the hierarchy, as we explained in a previous conversation. Much of what has been interpreted in your reality as angelic beings are in fact many of these beings along different levels of the hierarchy. And so until you are able to perceive all of these different beings and all of these different levels, it is quite complex to describe using your language, for there are no words to describe some of these beings and their vibrations. It is in fact much easier to understand these beings as angels, archangels, ascended masters.
Are seraphim considered the highest type of angel?
Seraphim are not angels, dear one. Seraphim are great beings of the light, dear one. They assist the hierarchy in many ways, as well as beings on your planet, beings in your galaxy, and beings in your universe. They are what you might call higher in the levels, simply as a way to explain their evolution.
Hindus refer to Krishna as the highest embodied being in existence. Is there truth or clarity to these ideas?
Krishna was an avatar that came into human form. He maintained a very high frequency indeed. However, he is not the only one. Buddha, Jesus, to name a few, and some that have not been named and were not known by the public.
In the ideas of Kirtan, chanting Hare Krishna allows a soul to return directly to Source when they transition. Is there truth or clarity to this idea?
This is a mantra that they use to raise their vibration and frequency. Many other religions or understandings of God use something similar. So those particular words are unique to them, and in a way, the frequency of those words does connect them with Source. However, there is much more involved in returning to Source, dear one.
Does Kirtan assist in inner work that is done for soul growth?
Depends upon how it is used by each one. For a being going through the motions and simply saying the words, it does very little. For a being saying the words with great intention and purifying all aspects of their being and of their life, then it can serve in a very deep and great way for that being.
Do humans on Earth receive more dispensations related to conscious choices and soul growth than other embodied souls due to the extent of convolution, limitation, and density in this perception?
Yes, dear one, in a way. You might call it a dispensation, but it is in fact the soul and the being creating this for themselves. Remember the laws of life. The energies that you put forth are what you receive back onto yourself. And so if a being lives their life with intent to evolve and purify and ascend, then that being will receive the appropriate support to do so. And this may look like grace or a dispensation, when in fact it is what has been put forth by that being.
It was mentioned that the global currency reset is more about the energy of money. Is there also a physical reevaluation of the money that will occur, resulting in material wealth?
Some will experience material wealth from a monetary revaluation. And this is dependent upon the laws of life and what each being has put forth. Those who are meant to receive material wealth will receive, dear one. And those who are meant to complete their karmic cycle, if you will, shall experience that. And so each one has the answer about themselves within their own heart. It is very easy for ego to become attached to the idea of wealth, and so much distortion occurs when ego enters the picture alongside money. I can share with you that those pure of heart and of pure intent will be deeply provided for, not only in material wealth and physical sustenance, but in spiritual wealth, which you will find along your journey is much more fulfilling than anything material could provide for you.
It was mentioned that new souls that were created were in effect just different combinations of souls coming together. How is this process done?
You have experienced babies in your world, these souls that come in through two people joining together in sex. This is not a new soul, as the souls that come in through these forms have always been. The new souls that I was referring to are the combination of energies that come together in family units, whether it be humans or animals or other beings that you are not yet aware of. These new souls are a collection of energies that are formed when two souls come together and decide to create a family. These new souls are also formed when two beings come together, or more beings, such as in friendships and even business relationships, where two or more gather together to create something. And so they are not necessarily souls in a physical being, as you may have thought, but these souls are a collection of energy that takes some kind of physical form. And so in the example of friendships, where two or more souls come together and spend time and develop thoughts together and develop feelings together, as their thought forms and emotions go out into existence, it takes form in some way. And therein lies that new soul.
How can we be aware of people in different densities of vibration before the shift?
What is most important, dear one, is to focus on your own vibration. It is not so relevant to understand where other people are, where other people are vibrating. What is key at this time is to continue to raise your own vibration to the best of your ability, and in this way create a smooth transition for yourself in September. Others will vibrate where they will vibrate, and if you begin to focus your attention on others, it will take away from your ability to maintain your own high vibrational state.
Will the new DNA Earth be multidimensional, in which humans in different dimensions can cohabitate?
Yes, dear one. In some ways that is already occurring, and has occurred for a long time on this planet. On the new DNA Earth, it will be easier for beings of different vibration to coexist together, because each being will be more firmly integrated with their new DNA, and thus have the ability to navigate through different dimensions on the new DNA Earth, and to cohabitate with those who have different abilities of navigation, either lesser or greater.
How can there be a time frame, or any time at all, on any event when time is multiversal?
Yes, dear one. It is less about time and more about the alignments. We have spoken before about the celestial alignments for the events of September. And because you, in your dimension, operate with a calendar, I am simply expressing that this is when the alignments will be at their fullest.
How is the wave of light in September experienced in sensation or in manifestation?
Different beings will experience this wave of light in different ways, according to their vibration and according to what dimension they are entering. For some, it will be very jolting, and there will most likely be fear because their mental consciousness is not expecting this. For those who are living in their hearts and doing their inner work and intentionally raising their frequency, this wave of light will come in quickly and profoundly with great amounts of peace felt by these beings who are ready. Some beings may not have a conscious awareness of this, and yet they will feel a great peace because they will have deep access to their soul's wisdom about this event. It will be felt in the physical body. It will be felt in the emotional field. And for some, it will be felt with the mental consciousness as well.
Will the light be able to be seen optically with the eye or with the third eye? Or is it simply a feeling?
The light will be felt and seen on many levels and in many ways. Again, each one will have his or her own experience based on their vibrational state. And so indeed, some will see a great light. Some will feel a great light. Some will experience both, and some will experience a great darkness, as the light will shine upon their shadow, and this is all they will be able to see.
Why does this mass transition require certain cosmic alignments if we are in a hologram?
Yes, dear one. Not all is in the hologram. You, in your experience on your current planet, are having a holographic experience. But not all is in this hologram. In fact, most is not.
How did this hologram come to be around this planet?
Yes, this was part of the hidden agendas we spoke about much earlier, dear one. When polarity came into your awareness, when those hidden agendas were placed upon the beings of your planet, and when the truth of who you are as love and light was forgotten, you entered this hologram. And so if you wish to not be in this hologram any longer, simply ask your hearts and your souls to remember who you are as love and light, and you will begin to shift out of the matrix, or the hologram as you call it, and you will begin to experience your freedom as you never have before.
Does this event in September have anything to do with the prophecies of the Book of Revelations?
Yes, dear one. Although much has been misinterpreted in that book, there are nuggets of truth. And for those who read that book, I encourage you to read through the knowing of your heart, read through the wisdom of your souls. Forget about what has been taught. Forget about doctrine and dogma. And read through your own knowing of who you are as love and light. And you will feel what is truth and what is not.
People who have been aware of other times this mass transition could have occurred, or ideas of when it could have occurred, are having doubts. What makes this time different?
Yes, dear one. I understand. I wish to convey to you, again, inviting you to access the knowing of your hearts, allowing your minds to be at rest, so that you may hear the voice of your hearts and of your souls. Also understanding, dear ones, that as I have shared before, much more is now in alignment. All the universes have gathered together within this multiverse to join in the energy and to align with the energy to support the occurrence of this event. Beyond this, however, the most important knowledge that you find lay within your hearts and within your souls, for that is where you will find the purest truth and knowing.
Is there anything else Prime Creator would like to share with those watching this video?
Dear ones, please understand that at this time there may be much confusion. As I mentioned in another conversation, that the chaos would increase before the unified peace. And so I invite you to continue to go back into your hearts, back into the wisdom of your souls, so that you may stay steadfast in the knowing of what is now occurring, and avoid distraction of this confusion and chaos. While this confusion and chaos runs very deep in many ways, it is also only on the surface, as what is true and deep and abiding is the knowledge and knowing of your hearts and of your souls. I love each and every one of you. And I hold you in my heart. And I thank you for all you are doing to evolve your souls. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you, Prime Creator. Thank you. And thank you to all the beautiful beings who watch these videos. I love you, and perhaps there shall be another video after this. Many blessings.